What the fuck?
Hello and welcome to Tastes Like Tea, a podcast in which I talk about myself. My name is Theo. Don't call me Ted. I'm back. I guess this is, I'm calling this the second season, right? I'm calling this a second season. Not much has really changed. I mean, I'm literally not doing anything different, except my brother was kind enough to supply me with a song that he recorded for like a little theme song for the podcast. I hope you enjoyed it. I enjoy it very much. I think it's really freaking awesome. It's funny because I remember hearing him playing that song because he recorded it over a decade ago. Like the audio clip that I have is from like 2012 or some shit like that. Like I remember living at home hearing this song through the walls. It's cool. It's a and you know, get to shout out my brother for being a quality musician. And you know, he knows how to do backflips and stuff, which is pretty cool. And he plays the drums really well. I actually just asked him for a clip of drums. I didn't know he was going to send me an entire song. Because I literally was like, hey, can you get me like a Pornhub, just like a boom, ba-doom, boom. And like that would be all. And that would have been fucking hilarious. But that didn't happen. So, today, I mean, I'm gonna do another what I watched. It seems like every time I don't want to do what I watched, I look back at what I watched and I go, damn, that's a cool order of things to talk about things in. I almost didn't do it because there's a few films on here that I think I won't be able to do justice from my perspective. Because I went like, oh yeah, I watched that. I didn't even remember that, which is weird, but, I watched a lot of movies last week. I took too many days off from work due to returning from vacation, but also just straight up anxiety. Like I straight up just skipped work, and then I got I got a flat tire, which you may be wondering why, and I'm not going to tell you, but if you know, you know exactly why. So yeah, I watched like, I'm not going to recount them because I don't feel like it, but I watched like over 20 films last week. Not a single short either. Technically I watched like a 30-minute documentary. I guess that counts as a short, but that was kind of just in addition to watching a film because I actually only, it was a special features of another film. It just happened to be loggable separately. Everything I've watched in the last week is a feature-length film. Looking back, and a lot of them are longer than I normally like to watch too. So like this is gonna be a packed episode, and I hope I don't get hung up on too much stuff. But I guess before I get into that, anythingbutted@gmail.com. It's an email where you can send me stuff. Clearly I don't have any ideas of how to set up episode ideas, so maybe I'll ask for episode ideas. Maybe it'll give me a reason to watch certain films I've never watched, or go back to certain films I haven't watched in a long time. Hell, I'll even rewatch and re-talk about things I've already spoken about, because context and time changes opinions. And just like a film I rewatched last week, it wasn't as good as I remembered it, but it's still way better than people say it is. And that's the kind of what I'll be getting into. But anything but Ted@gmail.com. considering I have his song in my podcast now, I might consistently link my brother's YouTube channel. I'm pretty sure it's mostly BMX stuff, but he is a drummer and drums. Probably has some videos of him playing like with my mom on stage and stuff like that. And I don't know. I always link my letterbox for some reason. I don't know if it's actually gotten me more eyes on my account or not, but whatever, it's there. So yeah, I guess let's just get into it. We're 5 minutes in, that's not bad. I'm gonna take a sip of this free Voodoo Grape Monster I got today. I wish, because I don't mind lightly carbonated stuff. I like carbonated things, like I but if it's going to be sold as juice, this is like the Monster Juice, don't carbonate it, man. I miss, like, remember when, I don't know if it still exists, because I'm kind of out of the Monster game now, but when I was fresh out of high school, I used to drink 2 Monsters a day, 5 days a week, and it was 2 for $5 at Quick Check. So I'd always go, and there's a specific Quick Check I went to that always had like the green tea Monster. Because the thing about my like of energy drinks is I like the efficiency of the caffeine, and I'd rather the taste of a carbonated beverage over a cup of coffee. And I like the temperature. I don't know. It's more refreshing. I'm not gonna, if I take first of all, I don't drink coffee to begin with, but if I were to make a coffee every morning, let's use tea, because I like tea. If I was to make a tea, I'm going to have to drink something after it anyways, because it's going to make me like dehydrated. It's not the right kind of sweet. It's too, I like a milky chai, I'm like Alex from A Clockwork Orange. I love a milky chai. And that's not refreshing. And I don't like iced chai either, because that waters the shit down and it's not refreshing. It's just gross. I have opinions on drinks, just so you know, believe it or not. But I'm going to talk about my opinions on films. And as mentioned in my last episode and the 2 episodes prior, I did go on vacation last week. And technically that vacation didn't end until this Monday. So, the tail end of that vacation was me getting home and watching some movies at home. I don't know if I explained it, but when I was on vacation, the TVs that are in the hotel rooms don't support external media devices. They have like a firewall up or something like that. So I couldn't watch anything but cable when I was on vacation. So the movies we were going to watch, one of the movies we were going to watch over vacation, I put on immediately when we got home, which was Scary Movie 2. Where's Scary Movie 1, you may ask? I watched that like last summer. Normally I'm one that doesn't like to just jump into a sequel if I haven't watched the original in a while, but considering how time moves, and how many movies I've been watching, the ability to go back and be like, yeah, let me just run through the entire series to catch up, and then I'll watch again. I don't think I'm in that stage of my life anymore. I don't do it with TV shows much either. Like, if I try to do it with a TV show, I usually stop watching before I even make it to the new season. Like, it's just... And, that's even when I watch TV shows. Did you know Ted has a 2nd season? I found out about that the other day. Also, the Ted TV show is better than anything that Seth MacFarlane has ever made. At least the 1st season. Anyways, we'll get to that when I finish season 2. Scary Movie 2. It's definitively my least favorite scary movie. It's weird because I think, as much as I love the Wayans brothers, I think they have the weakest entries. No. Scary Movie 1 is still in the top 3. Let's be real. But that's because it's well made, and it's the perfect kind of meta that we needed at the time. Two, there's a lot of things I don't like about two. And I don't understand how it's the most, like, I've told people and I've listened to people talk about the scary movies, and somehow two is, like, the one people love. Like, I mean, yeah, there's, like, the strong hand joke, which I never thought was that funny. There's the dirty underwear joke, which turns out to be a result of the Weinsteins being icky. In fact, I'm pretty sure the whole existence of Scary Movie 2 is kind of because the Weinsteins are pieces of shit. I don't know too much detail about it, but I know at least one character's role got cut down because she refused to do on-screen nudity. And that's the girl who gets raped by a ghost in her dirty underwear. So she has only that scene because she refused to take her shirt off in the other scene. Something like that. But I don't get it. I don't get why this one's so popular. 3 is my favorite. Let's get that out of the way. 3 is the best. And I think I didn't explore it much in my review. My review for a lot of my reviews over the last week have been kind of short. They've been 1 to 3 paragraphs max. I've been getting lucky with a few, and, you know, I have a lot to say about a few things. But generally, I was watching movies and just going like, this is a movie that exists. I kind of liked it. Here's why not. Scary Movie 2, I think it's mostly because I don't like the movie that it's parodying. And yes, Scary Movie parodies like 100 movies at a time. It opens with The Exorcist, which has like 5 other references within that. And then stupid, like, bodily fluid jokes on top of that. Like, it's... But the main story that this film follows is Liam Neeson's, Catherine Zeta-Jones's, Matthew Lillard? I don't know, Matthew Lillard isn't that. It's 13 Ghosts. It's The Haunting. It's the previous adaptation of Hill House before The Haunting of Hill House came out. The 90s, I think it was like 97 or something, maybe the early 2000s, I don't know. I don't like it that much. It's a I feel weird saying it, but I feel like I don't care about any other Hill House adaptation except for Flanagan's. And that's really weird to say. 'Cause I don't know. I think it's just weird to think that way, because I have a lot of opinions about Flanagan and Netflix, but for some reason when it comes to Haunting of Hill House, I have like an extra soft spot for it. But yeah, I don't really like The Haunting. I don't think it's that... No, I can't say... I think I've said this in the past, and I'm pretty sure I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure... there's something about ghost stories that are very hit or miss with me. Which is weird because I'm very judgmental of, like, The Conjuring and the Annabelle movies and stuff. Like, I'm a big James Wan fan, but I'm also super hit or miss with his movies. Because he's always doing fucking ghosts and shit like that. Gross. Yeah, it's fine. It's my partner said that's their favorite because they like that it's an actual sequel where there's continuous characters who remember the previous film to an extent. 3, they kind of go off the rails a bit, and they just have like a few recycled characters that are the same characters, but they kind of don't. They're kind of like American Horror Story cast, where they don't necessarily acknowledge that they were in previous entries. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. 2, I think a 2, and I just think like, I have to get through it. It's really, like, even though I don't remember Scary Movie 5 as much, I feel like I like it more. And the only thing I have memory of is Mac Miller and Snoop Dogg pulling guns on each other for like 5 minutes straight. But that's funnier than sticking a grimy hand into mashed potatoes and making paraplegic jokes for like 10 minutes straight. The weed smoker is kind of funny. Conceptually, the same thing for the ghost rape, but I think I honestly don't think ghost rape is funny anymore since Robot Chicken did the butt rape ghost joke, and I think that's like the peak of ghost rape jokes, where it's literally just a whole family is getting raped by a ghost and they call it the butt rape ghost. But then there's a daughter who goes, "Oh no, I sure hope I don't get raped by the butt rape ghost," and she like takes her pants off and stuff and is trying to get raped by the butt rape ghost. But the butt rape ghost doesn't want that because he likes to rape, and willingness is not part of that. That's funny. Not a ghost going, "Ugh," and then raping her anyway. It would be funnier if he left, actually. Or like threw her in the shower or something, but I don't know. It's a totally mid movie. Tim Curry is wasted. I don't care about the wheelchair dude that comes on himself. There was that porn star or something. There's that, I don't know. I think she was playing Theo, who is the Catherine Zeta-Jones. Yeah, Kathleen Robertson plays Theo, which is ripping off of Theo from The Haunting. Oh, she's in Blown Away. That's funny. I have that ready to go. That's like a weird Corey Feldman movie I came across, because I don't see him in many things, and I recently kind of learned that his life was shit. Ew, there's a Masterson. Oh, no, it's a scary movie too. I'm like, ugh, not in that movie too. No. That's another thing. Chris Masterson is in it. And, like, he's so out of place. My partner talking about how, like, the sequel characters are good sequel characters. Well, the new characters are trash. I mean, yeah, I talk shit about the rest of them, but I think Christopher Masterson did not... Like, I don't like him. He's doing... He's... I mean, the joke is that he's like... It's too gay to, like, talk to girls, right? Like, to have a friend that's a girl is gay. But also, I'm going to treat you like a boy and then make fun of you when you're not boyish enough. Like, it's a weird character. And maybe in the year 2001 when it came out, back when people were still trying to get dude to be considered a non-gendered term, before that was cemented. And it was just like, can girls be as fun as boys? Can girls, spit or whatever? I don't know. It's a dumb relationship. But honestly, I think Billy from the first one is equally as bad of a character. I didn't think he was really that enjoyable, other than the blowjob scene in the cold open of Scary Movie 1. I didn't really care about Billy. Also, that's not ketchup. Alright. Anyway, Scary Movie 2, it's fine. Least favorite Scary Movie. I'm happy that the Wayans brothers are back for Scary Movie 6, and I'm really staying positive, but them bringing back the original cast is not a selling point for me. I remember my friend was like, yeah, they brought everybody back. They even got, and I don't know, my friend listed off like a big list of names of people they got, and like, as long as you have Anna Faris, Regina Hall, and the Wayans brothers, I think you're good. Everything else can kind of just be up in the air. The thing I'm worried about with Scary Movie 6, though, and I know that I'm not talking about Scary Movie 6 in this part of the episode, but is, again, the movies that they're going to be ripping off. Because they're going to be doing Scream 6, as per the trailer. As per the poster, they're doing Midsommar. There's a few different things that are me going like, am I even going to care about the things they're making fun of? Because I'm sort of disenfranchised to an extent in what I'm assuming is going to be touched on in this film, because it's probably going to be like Conjuring 4 which I didn't see. There might be a Michael Jackson joke again because that Michael Jackson movie came out, so it's not like he's irrelevant. They might be able to slip another he joke in or something, but I don't know. Actually, no, the Michael Jackson jokes didn't start until after the Wayans brothers left, because I'm pretty sure it starts in Scary Movie 3, happens in Date Movie. There's a few other Michael Jackson jokes in those movies. Anyway, that's Scary Movie 2. It's fine. If you could, just watch 1, 3, and 4. Those are so far the only ones I would watch. Next up is Zeros and Ones. This is a film I've been kind of eyeing for a while, but I only just finally decided to watch it recently. So I may have mentioned it on here. I've definitely mentioned it during one of my episodes of what I watched, but I am a big Abel Ferrara fan. I'm a huge Abel Ferrara fan. But the thing is, I've only technically seen his big movies. Here, let me click on them. I'm pretty sure I've seen 9 or 10 of his movies now. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, 10. Cool. 7 of those are his top-rated films. And that doesn't necessarily mean anything. It's not like that means I'm not getting the Ferrara experience. But what it does say about, at least from my perspective, it says that I'm not saying anything about myself by doing it. It's more or less just I happen to watch these films first. But generally, when I see a director that's pretty prolific, I like to jump around. Michael Bay, I'm going in release order, which I'm only really doing because a podcast I listened to started doing it, but he's doing it way too slowly. And I wanted to do it with him, but now I'm just kind of doing it at my own pace. I'm at least 1 or 2 movies ahead of him. And he's been doing it for over a year, so I think I've been doing it for almost a year now anyway. But yeah, I've watched 10 of his films, and most of them are his top rated. I watched his porn, which I'd love to talk about one day. I think 9 Lives of a Wet Pussy is actually a really good fucking movie. What did I rate it? I gave it a 4.5, dude. The only reason I didn't give it 5 is the same reason I didn't give Misty Beethoven a 5. Is because I, at the time, was probably afraid of putting porn into my top 4. But if I were to rewatch it again today, I'd probably give it a 5. And same for Misty Beethoven. And probably the same for that one Agnes one where she goes crazy and she does Psycho better than Psycho. Anyway, Zeros and Ones is not just an Abel Ferrara movie, but this is a modern Abel Ferrara movie. This is 2021. Big jump. Yeah, he's been making movies for, 40, 50 years now? What's his oldest film? It's Driller Killer, right? That's 79. He's at what was that, 47 years? I think so. 47 years this man has been directing shit. And he's been putting out, with 43 film credits, it's approximately a film a year. I actually am very curious. Not what his first film is, because I know what that is. Oh, he technically did 9 Lives of a Wet Pussy before Driller Killer. God, man, he is fucking good. And then Miss 45, and then Fear City, and then Gladiator, and then oh my god, man. This dude makes movies. 1986, 1986. Two movies in the same year. The fucker. Stephen King over here. Cat Chase. All of these look so fucking wild. And most of them are. But I was going to check what the time jump is. At some point there has to be a time jump, right? 2001 is our Xmas. 2000, no, it's all, he maybe goes 2 or 3 years without making a movie at a time. This man is always working. I hear it's mostly documentaries nowadays. 42 One Dream Rush. I'm sold. 42 directors, 42-minute. David Lynch did one, and James Franco. Dude, I'm watching this. 42 One Dream Rush. It's 42 1-minute shorts. I'm watching the shit out of that when I get a chance. Alright, I'm not going to look at this stuff because clearly Padre Pio, searching for Padre Pio, yeah. So there are a couple making ofs in here too, so it still averages to like a movie every year, 1 to 3 years. And one of his most recent ones is Zeros and Ones, which came out in 2021, and it's actually really I think it's important. I think this film is really important. Not necessarily for, like, societal or historical, or maybe historical, but just kind of, like, no, definitely historical is a way to put it, because this film was filmed during the lockdown. Let's start there, right? This was filmed in 2020 to 2021. This is at the peak of the lockdown, and Abel Ferrara makes a film on site. And he takes the world that he lives in at that time and uses it to he builds another world off of it. So this film is it's kind of in a sense plotless. It's more or less like vibes in a sense. People are calling it like a spiritual successor to New Rose Hotel, which I see it. This is made exactly the way New Rose Hotel would be made if you made it in 2021. I think it's a little bit better though, but maybe it's just because I like the setting and the plot and the actors more, although that's kind of fucked to say when Christopher Walken and Willem Dafoe were starring in that other film. Anyway, Zeros and Ones is there's a terrorist bombing that's being set up, and it needs to be stopped. Ethan Hawke plays a double role, which I think is great, because ever since Sinners and Mickey 17 came out in the same year, people have been gawking over double roles, and to find out that there are so many films that did double roles really well prior to that is really funny to me, because I've never seen anybody go, oh, double role in this, double role, but when it comes to Sinners and Mickey 17, it's like the forefront of the subject, and I don't get it. So Zeros and Ones, it's filmed, I'm pretty sure exclusively on site in Rome. Like this man took advantage of the lockdown and explored some of the most normally densely packed areas, like the subways and the open squares and historical buildings and just everything that this film is like set around. And it's dead empty. There's no one there. The cast list, it's 15 people, 16 characters because Ethan Hawke plays 2 roles. It's not a small cast, but it's very much a COVID kind of film. It's both made under the parameters of the COVID lockdown, but also, like I said, it's reimagining a world. It's creating a world with our world. It is taking the idea of the lockdown and saying, what if we never got out of it? What if this is life now? And it's a film where, like, everyone is, wearing masks and afraid to approach each other. Sex is kind of dissolved in a weird way. I wouldn't say completely, because my partner says, like, there's no way sex just disappears because everyone's afraid of germs, but modern, like decent, what would it be, civilized company would probably always shake their head at, like, oh, that person's having sex or kissing? How barbaric. Because it's just like what people got controlled to be it's, I don't know how to explain this very well. It's really interesting though, because it's everything that, oh, there's a bee in my car. That's scary. But Ethan Hawke, I don't know where to... I can't stick on this too much, because clearly I don't know how to fucking process my thoughts on it. So... Ethan Hawke, right? He's a guy. He exists. He's doing like soldier stuff. He's wearing masks. He's talking to... He has informants in the homeless community. He's in Rome. He's trying to find terrorists, and his brother is kidnapped. His twin brother is kidnapped, and I don't know. I'm pretty sure his twin brother gets killed, but he gets killed like being all patriotic and shit. That's probably one of the best scenes in the film, is seeing the Ethan Hawke brother that's been captured get tortured for like 10 minutes. Because it's just like really good dialogue. Like, it's all the one-liners you want a libertarian kind of person to say. Like somebody who's like gonna... Anyway, it's really the world and the vibes and how it was made that really blows me away with this film. I only gave it like a 3.5 out of 10. I gave it a 7, or 3.5 out of 5, 7 out of 10. But that's only because it was quiet and a little uneventful, but it was beautifully made. It was well written. It was clearly focusing on something that I didn't know films were focusing on. Like, I think the only COVID stuff I knew existed were mostly TV shows. Like, I know Blackish had a season based in COVID. What's that shitty show that sucks? Wow. One of Us or something like that. It's Crying, the TV show. It's basically, how do I make every 5 minutes the saddest form of television possible? This Is Us. Such a bad show. It's so manipulative. It's so garbage. It's fucking dumb. I'd rather watch reality TV over that. But yeah, like TV shows covered COVID, and there was like that one film, Sick. There were a few like slashers about like isolation, I'm pretty sure. There was that one... Isolation's definitely a topic, but this is less about isolation itself on an individual level and more about what persistent isolation does to the rest of the world, which is basically kill it and put it at a standstill, where the only people walking the streets are terrorists and people trying to stop the terrorists. Where are the people in this film? Obviously, they're all, if there is any, right, which you don't know. Like I said, there's only 15 people in the fucking cast or something like that, like, and they're all involved in one way or another. I don't think you see a single civilian except for Abel Ferrara's granddaughter, niece, something like that. And that's only the last few minutes of the film because they had to have like a closing out thing. But yeah, it's really interesting, it's really good, and it makes me appreciate Abel Ferrara, because it tells me that even though he may not be a 5-star director for 40 years straight, 50 years straight, or whatever, he's maybe it's like we think similarly, or I can identify what he's trying to say, but it seems like every time I watch one of his films, especially films that people don't generally like, which, like I said, isn't many, I kind of find the thing. Driller Killer is a great example of that, because while I was watching it, I was so, I don't want to say uninterested, but I was distracted. And then my friends were talking about why they didn't like it, and I went, oh shit, that's actually a really good reason to like it. Fear City the same way. Fear City's amazing. Anyway, Zeros and Ones was outstanding. It's a great COVID movie. If you ever need to be reminded about what life was like 5 years ago, and you go through this film and say it's boring and uneventful, well, guess the fuck what? That's what it was like. to an extent. I thought it was fun, but I don't leave the house anyway, so the government paid me to do what I like to do. And I miss it. Although I'm pretty sure a lot of my social anxiety built from getting used to being at home. Anyway, after Zeros and Ones, which was outstanding, like I said, like it's a really good experience that I think should be experienced. I watched Mr. Vampire 3. What a great film, man. Like, Mr. Vampire 3, so Mr. Vampire 2, I'm pretty sure I spoke about on here. I said it was like basically just like a family comedy with a little bit of like horror, martial arts kind of mixed in, more slapstick if anything. From what I've seen and from what I've read, this Mr. Vampire 3 is very obviously like the real sequel to Mr. Vampire 2. Which is also weird because all three, I think there's actually 4 of them, are directed by the same guy. But, yeah, something about 3 that just, it was just so good. They went back, they toned down the family comedy, but they kept the ridiculousness and the choreography. And then they just leaned a little bit more into horror. It was a really good film. They brought back the main cast for the most part, except for that one dude, the one who got infected in the first one. He's not back, I'm assuming because he was doing other stuff. I feel like he would have tried to have gotten back if he had the opportunity to. I was going to do... Oh, this was supposed to be a Ferrera double feature. What was I going to put on after Zeros and Ones? Was it 444 maybe? I'm not sure. Who knows? It's probably that I couldn't actually find the film, or maybe my partner was out and I didn't want to piss them off. Because they don't generally like Ferrara films. 9 out of 10 Taoists are unreliable. I'm the 10th. So, I can't really remember much about the plot, to be perfectly honest. I mean, it's... Yes, of course. I do remember the plot now. So, Mr. Vampire doesn't refer to the vampires. From what I've learned, is actually the alternate title to this film is Mr. Supernatural. And what it's referring to is actually the main guy, the unibrow dude, Master Kui, what the fuck's his name? Master Gao, Lam Ching Ying. Master Gao is Mr. Vampire. So, I say that because this Mr. Vampire film, although contains jumping vampires, and also, is called Mr. Vampire, is about ghosts. And that's why Mr. Supernatural makes a lot more sense, because it also makes more sense for the first film, too, because there was a heavy ghost plot in that one as well. And I think if we knew it was called Mr. Supernatural, we probably wouldn't have found it so jarring. But okay, so the film opens with a con artist. He's friends with these 2 ghosts. A little boy ghost and an adult ghost, and they're like best friends. And what he does is he finds people who are claiming to be haunted, and he's like, I will perform an exorcism to get rid of your ghosts. And then what he does is he just has a fake battle with his friends to make it look like he's exorcising ghosts. And then he takes their money and leaves. Quick and easy. I think what happens, though, is it turns out that those ghosts are real. That this person is pretending to exercise. And he's obviously incapable of doing it, so Mr. Vampire comes in, Mr. Supernatural, and he does stuff. He shows like how to do talismans and like cast spells and how to protect yourself. Now, like I said, this one is mostly about ghosts, and I don't know if Japanese ghosts are exclusively like this. I even say it here. I don't know if it's this film making stuff up, or if it's actually written into the mythology. But some of the ghost stuff that's like really like highly specific is just a little weird, and I think it's cool. But I wouldn't be surprised if the film made it up just for like extra layers of entertainment. Because, like, let's see, what did I write? Yeah, ghosts can only interact with a real world object if it has been burned. You get that shown to you by the con artist burning clothes, and then the ghosts are able to pick them up and put them on. Same thing goes for like some tools of sorts. You don't need to burn it to ash. You just need to like coat it in fire. There's something about it. I guess it's like a form of destruction, and therefore it's like a partial death. But whatever it is, or maybe the fire is a portal to the afterlife. That could be a thing. That's kind of cool, actually. But something along those lines. It's interesting though. Then there's the other one, which follows the burning stuff, which is why I think that these two things are probably real. If you're covered in ash or soot, then ghosts can't see you. That makes a lot of sense, kind of. It makes me think about the women who dye their teeth black. I don't ever know if... I'm pretty sure it's not permanent. I'm pretty sure they're just staining their teeth with, like, soot or something. But, yeah, because a big point of the film is this guy is, like, sneaking up on a ghost covered in ash. And then he laughs because he's like, oh, shit, it's actually working. And his teeth are clean, so the ghost sees his teeth and is like, oh, there's a guy in front of me. Super interesting. I really love that. And this is another one that I actually think could totally be real. The last one is probably the most outlandish one, and probably the one that makes me question the logic behind the entire film. But if you're talking to someone and they're on their tippy toes and they're acting weird, they might be possessed by a ghost. And why would those details be what pointed out? Well, obviously the acting weird is because, they're possessed. They're not themselves. But being on their tiptoes is because the ghost is puppeting the person from behind. And they have the host's feet standing on top of the possessor's feet so that he can puppet the body to do what it wants. So it's visibly like controlling him, but he's not entirely submerged into the person's body. He's kind of like sticking his hands down the guy's sleeves and controlling his arms and legs and stuff that way. Lastly, I think there were more things about ghosts, but these are kind of the ones that stuck out to me. If you deep fry a ghost, it removes them from existence. However, the person who deep fries a ghost condemns their soul to hell for eternity. And yes, I did say deep fry, like literally, like hot oil. Drop a ghost into hot oil, cook him up, and he will be banished from all realms at the cost of destroying your soul. So it's kind of a very... And the destroying your soul thing makes me think, like, this could be real, but who the fuck is frying, like, ceramics that they think they've trapped ghosts inside? How does that work? Like, how could you convince yourself that works? So that doesn't really fit. But deep frying a ghost leads to one of the coolest final fights in these movies, like in Hong Kong movies in general. Because so he, like, I think they joke and they're like, oh, he's only medium well. But, like, they didn't fully fry the ghost, so he's not dead. But he's all goopy. So it's this really gross, like... He kind of just looks like a person made of, like, melting wax. Wax that's, like, the color of flesh or dough. Like a funnel cake. Or like a deep-fried Oreo kind of batter. Like one of those. Pancake kind of thing, but fried. But it's undercooked, so he's goopy and droopy. And it's just the grossest fucking monster suit I've ever seen. It's amazing. I loved it so much. It was a great film, though. It's paced way better than the original. Like I said, that ghost subplot in the first one kind of took me out of it. This one, they kind of figured out how to kind of implement the subplot a lot more efficiently, so it wasn't grossly and badly paced. So next is Dark City. And this one I've been sitting on for a while. Cameron from one of the podcasts I listened to, probably more like all of the podcasts of his that he has, he usually mentions at least once on one of those that Dark City is an amazing film. And it's so much so that I'm pretty sure he's going to be watching it in the next couple months, 'cause it's looking like it's pointing in that direction. But yeah, so the only thing I knew about it was that Kiefer Sutherland is in it. I was very confused to find out that Kiefer Sutherland is not the main character. Not entirely. He's like the main supporting character. But the main character wakes up with little to no memory, and it turns out that he may be responsible for murdering a bunch of women. He wakes up in a room covered in blood, so he's convinced that it could be him himself, but he has no actual conception of, like, being a killer. He doesn't understand it. So he's going through the city just trying to, like, find answers and recover his memory. Turns out, spoiler alert, I mean, you know, I don't know if I've ever actually said it. I don't necessarily believe in spoilers. Like, obviously, if I were to tell you that, like, Snape killed Dumbledore, that's a spoiler, right? That's a whole thing. But, because that uncovers every subplot leading up to that point. But if I was to say, like, I don't know, no, actually, technically, yeah, what I'm saying is a spoiler, but I don't care. So, and that's kind of the whole thing, is like, that's why I list off in the description, spoiler warning of various degrees, because I don't care if I spoil anything. I don't even really talk into that much detail about these movies. I just kind of share opinions on it, but sometimes I'll break down a scene, or in this case, the central plot. So the central plot of Dark City is that it's not just the main character Murdoch, or whatever the fuck his name is, that no, the landscaping company just pulled up out of... I am fucking pissed. Hold on, I'm going to pause this. I'm going to move my car because I do not want to listen to these fuckers. Hello, I'm back. I moved my car to a much more visible place, which I'm not a fan of. Probably everybody who works in this building is going to look past and see me talking to myself, which I don't love, but better than being near a bunch of fucking leaf blowers. My windows are up, my car is running, and the AC is on, and there's a bee still trying to get in my car. Really aggressively, too. Jesus Christ, what are you smelling here? All I have is a fucking Monster and some gummies, but they're in an airtight bag. roll. So, what was I talking about? Right, Dark City. Alright, so the main plot, I love that. It was right as I was gonna fucking break down the main plot. The main plot of this film is that you are not on Earth. Dark City is an alien spaceship where a city full of humans was abducted or tricked or something about humans being trapped on a spaceship. But humans on a spaceship in a fake city controlled by aliens. And what those aliens do is they, every day or two or whatever, while you're asleep, they will move your body and change your memories, change your identity, and just observe. The whole thing is they're trying to like understand the human condition or something like that, which they can't really do because that's kind of the whole point of the film, is that humanity can't be taught. It's something you are. And if you're going to be experimenting on humans, you will never reach that point. You know, it's a film. It's interesting. It's really weird. But that's the thing, is so they're experimenting with this Murdoch dude, and they're like, what would a man that thinks he's a murderer do? And that's what they did. I'm pretty sure they like stop it at the end. I'm pretty sure, main character takes over the city because he has the same brain powers as the aliens somehow. And it's just a way to, so now he's like, oh, well, we've never seen the sun, so let's, make this dark city a light city. And then he brings the sun up, and he opens an ocean, and he basically just makes his utopia. He doesn't escape, which is interesting. There's no actual winning, it's just kind of not losing. Yeah, it's good. I really liked it. It's a really cool, well-told, like, noir sci-fi. It's a really cool film. Okay. It also has Jennifer Connelly in it, which she's pretty good in this. She's not the reason I watched it, but she was a reason I was able to put it on without my partner complaining too much, because I'm like, yeah, it has Jennifer Connelly in it. I don't think that really helped that much, but I told myself it helps. So after I finished Dark City, because Jennifer Connelly was in Dark City, I decided to do a double feature with Jennifer Connelly. So next, mostly because I've been dying to watch it and I haven't had the opportunity to, I watched Phenomena. Phenomena is starring Jennifer Connelly. It stars her, but it stars her. So it's a little bit, different main character. It's not John Murdoch. Phenomena is a Dario Argento film. The only thing I knew about it going in is that Jennifer Connelly can talk to bugs. It says it in the description, and I'm pretty sure that's the only thing. Actually, I didn't even think I knew she spoke to bugs as much as I knew that there was some sort of communication between her and bugs. That's different than just outright speaking to them, I think. But Phenomena, jeez, I watched a lot of films that day, damn. Phenomena, so the way I described it, and I think I still agree with this, is it's the most bizarre concept for an Argento film that I've seen so far. But it's also like the most straightforward Argento film I've seen so far. It's so yes, Jennifer Connelly can talk to bugs. Kind of. I don't remember any like back and forth dialogue between her and bugs, but she's kind of like a Disney princess, but instead of birds, it's bugs. And the bugs, everything from like grubs and flies to just like any insect. And there's a gruesome murder. There's a series of gruesome murders. I don't remember how deep they are. I was going to say 18, but I'm pretty sure that's that Roberto Benigni movie that I watched, The Monster. Great film. I really want to watch that again. I'm actually going to buy it one day. I need to buy it on like Blu-ray or something like that because that shit was so good. Phenomena. Yeah, so it's like conceptually the weirdest fucking movie ever. A girl who can speak to bugs solves a murder. Right? Like, but at the same time, as an Argento film, a girl who can speak to bugs solves a murder is straightforward. It's simple. I mean, it's a little bizarre saying the fact that a girl can talk to bugs, but it's just a murder mystery. It's set up really well. I mean, obviously it's Argento, so it's shot beautifully and the music is fantastic. I think basically that's a given. If you're talking about an Argento film, you are almost immediately in love with the music / cinematography. He loves to put wind on Jennifer Connelly's hair, and I'm just seeing if the composer Claudio Simonetti, pretty sure it's the guy, yeah, same guy that did Suspiria, which I'm pretty sure means Goblin, unless there's a different guy separate from Goblin. But yeah, it's I think it's not the best Argento film, but it is really good. I think maybe if it was 10 minutes shorter. Oops, I just turned on the radio. If it was like 10 minutes shorter and Jesus Christ. Source list, audio off. What was I talking about? It looks nice, it's shot nice, it sounds nice. It's really just not, it doesn't flow well. There's a lot of scenes where it's just like beautiful fields and Jennifer Connelly's walking across the field. There's this weird, so she can talk to bugs, and there's a few scenes where bugs help her. Like, I think a bee or a maggot helps find a clue from the murderer. There's another time where I'm pretty sure a maggot, like, rats on the killer and says like, oh, he's nearby, and he doesn't speak in English or anything. She just stares and goes like, oh, I get it. Kind of like an old Yeller kind of thing, where it's more spiritually understood than verbally. But there's not really a lot of those scenes. Like the most plot critical best use of her powers is when she meets like a doctor guy, an entomologist who is the one helping the police with the murders, and he's like, if you follow this fly, it will find a dead body. So it's just like a 5-minute sequence of her following a little black speck on the screen. Meanwhile, there's 2 scenes in the film that actually like show a true power of the insects, of her communication with the insects, because she's able to call upon like waves and waves of them, like full on just walls of insects. And she doesn't do it often. She does it when she's getting bullied And she does it towards the end when she's getting her revenge or finishing off the movie or whatever. But there's so many more times where she could have been the bug queen, you know? She could be flying around solving murders with a jacket made of moths, and it would be awesome. But she didn't. She went to a Swiss boarding school. People made fun of her for being foreign because she's the daughter of like a famous white man from America. So they're all like, "Go the fuck home. You're not our type. We don't like you." And yeah, I feel like I feel bad not talking about it a lot, like, and not loving it a lot, because on paper it should be outstanding. Maybe a rewatch where I know to not expect like outrageous, weird gore, bug stuff. Maybe I'll be able to get through it a little bit more comfortably, but it's no opera and it's no Suspiria, I'll tell you that. I honestly think that Mother of Tears was more enjoyable, which is probably a super controversial thing because I'm pretty sure a lot of people like Phenomena. But it was definitely one of my lowest rated Argento films. It felt like I felt the same energy, not in the same energy as in like the film is similar, but in the way I received it is it kind of felt like a Fulci film where I wasn't in love with it, but I'm happy it exists. Let's see. So, after Phenomena, we're on to Late Night with the Devil. This one I wasn't super excited to go back to rewatch just because I didn't feel like the timing was right. I mean, it's technically a Halloween movie, so I should be watching it in October. But that's not why I didn't want to watch it. I think I was worried that the film wasn't going to hit as hard as it did. And I mean, I'm pleased to say that I'm very wrong about that. I was completely wrong. Late Night with the Devil still hits. My partner said it was predictable, and both Melissa and I both agree that something about that take is almost more offensive than just like blatantly hating it, because I feel like, I mean, how could it be predictable? I mean, yeah, I guess the twist itself, the twist specifically of, oh, he's actually doing that to somebody else, I guess that's predictable, but is that really the thing that's going to make you go, like, I don't like it that much? There has to be other stuff. But I think Late Night with the Devil is really crazy. It's a really great film. It's not a slow burn, that's the thing. It's kind of just like a consistent ramping. It just goes... It never stops getting crazier. Admittedly, the commercial breaks are probably a little unnecessary, but I didn't find them bad, like some people said. I think they do break up the story a bit and drag it out. I mean, how long is this? All right, see, it's 93 minutes, so it's not even... But there is a Night Owls episode cut where it's just 70 minutes of whatever is on camera. And I'm really interested in seeing that. Not because I don't want the behind-the-scenes stuff, but I'm pretty sure that also cuts out some stuff from the actual film. Like, the stuff that happens on stage, you're going to see less of it because you're only stuck to 2 cameras. In this film, you're able to see behind the camera and around the camera and like what's off to the side while the camera's looking at something else. But with a cut that only shows you what was shown on the air of this in-universe TV show, it's really kind of crazy. And it also cuts out all the hallucinogenic stuff at the end, which probably would make it better. It doesn't matter. I love Late Night with the Devil. I can watch it regularly, like as is. But I will find that Night Owls cut. I refuse to not find it. It sounds too enjoyable to not try and seek out. This film does have a notorious reputation for using AI. I don't know if it's the first film to utilize AI. I doubt it, but although I understand and agree, I am very anti AI art generation. The stuff that this film uses for AI generation is the most like insignificant shit ever. I agree, you could have just paid somebody like $150 to draw up a couple of We'll Be Right Backs. But at the same time, you see them for like 3 seconds at a time. If anything, them being AI generated is kind of like a testament to like, one, look at how easily mistakes were made with AI image generation so early on. But also, I don't know. I see why it's annoying that it happened, but it really doesn't take away from my experience with the film. It really just makes me go, like, should I pause this and, like... Because, like, I know how to look for AI-generated stuff. It's usually in the fingers and, like, just, like, intricate lines that... and background stuff and incomplete shapes. And there's ways to identify it, and you can see it in every single one of them, except maybe the one that's just, like, the beige rainbow saying "We'll be right back." That might be the only one that I can't necessarily point out a specific thing that says, like, yeah, that's AI. But it's so simple that it didn't matter. It would probably be offensive to an artist if they were told, like, hey, give me 5 really bland pictures of Halloween-y art. I don't know. It's not a big deal for me. At least in this case, because it's not gratuitous. It's not in your face about it. And it's a good example of utilizing it in a I think a non-offensive way. I mean, this is a higher budget film, which makes me want to say, like, oh, you really could have just thrown a couple $100 at somebody. But I don't know. It doesn't bother me. The film is crazy though. It's a late night talk show. It's supposed to model, I don't know what late night talk show hosts are called. Was Jay Leno one? I really don't know. I've never watched a late night show except for I watched like half of the first season of Saturday Night Live, and I've seen, like, I don't think it's Late Show, but my dad used to watch the Colbert Report a lot. So yeah, I'm unfamiliar with the kind of show this is. I never watched it. I only watched cartoons and sitcoms when I was a child. If I wasn't watching movies or playing video games. Like, I was very much someone who did not care. I always found, like, Jerry Springer to be annoying. Right? Just the concept. But it's weird that, like, I was in, like, 3rd grade, and I remember hearing my classmates doing the Jerry, and I had no idea what the fuck that is. My only exposure to Jerry Springer is Celebrity Deathmatch, the video game, where Jerry Springer was a Jack-in-the-Box head that, like, sprung around, like his legs were springs, and he just, like, hip-hopped around everywhere. Marilyn Manson was my go-to for that game, but that's beside the point. But the film is, it's fun. It's not fun, sorry. I mean, it is fun. It's fun in the way that if you're looking for a really unsettling experience, you can get it in a fast, efficiently delivered way. I don't know if I actually said the words, but when I was saying, like, I don't really know why I didn't want to come back and watch it, it really comes down to, can it deliver on what I got from it 2 times? Can it do the same thing twice? Does rewatching it give me the same experience? And I think it does. I wouldn't watch it like 4 or 5 times a year, but I could probably watch this again at Halloween, and then again, like, I don't know, around New Year's if I wanted to. I don't know. I could definitely watch this quite a few times. It's a very watchable film. It's short, 93 minutes. And it's just three different guests. And just basically the host passively allowing people to try and prove that ghosts exist and that demons exist and that the supernatural is possible. Meanwhile, there's a skeptic that's being a dickhead and the crowd is not. And then, spoiler alert, the devil shows up and kills a bunch of people. And that's where I get confused about what my partner meant by whatever the word is they said, predictable. It's in the title, man. Like, it's the same reason I don't get mad at Wolfman for saying that Wolfman exists in the first frame of the film, because that's why we're watching it. We're watching the film called Late Night with the Devil, so we can watch a late night show where someone summons the devil. And the whole thing is that it's an episode of a show that he's trying to save, so he's allowing things that are morally fucked. It's good. It's really good. If there's anything, I really, no, it's paced really well. I really like the dialogue. I guess the first medium guy was a little annoying, but that's the point. He's supposed to be the intro of you going, is this shit real, or is he being a complete bullshit artist? Because after the second guy comes in, he just calls everyone a bullshit artist. But up until that point, you know something is going down. And the voice of reason can exist, and cameras can not lie, or whatever he says. It's a hell of an experience. And it really does deliver on that gut-wrenching, like, not building up that like teeth-clenching pressure of fear that, like, even your movements could screw something up as a viewer of a film. Like, there's something about how intense of a reaction this film gets out of me. It's all simple stuff. Nothing, I shouldn't say nothing really happens, but I mean, the only time something would definitively be scary is probably the final act, which is just relentless, which I'm pretty sure is why my partner didn't like it, because that's why they didn't like the substance either, besides it being overly sexual for no reason, which this film doesn't have that issue. It also only has one woman and a child as on the cast. It's a great film, though. I really don't know. I don't think I can really say too much about it other than that. It really just, it fulfills the thing it tries to do. And watching it on a second time, I can confirm that it maintains that feeling that you want from it. After that, now this is all in one day. Dark City until the film after the one I'm talking about is all in one day, which is crazy. That's just crazy. But the next film after Late Night with the Devil, I remember what happened, because Late Night with the Devil, we got about halfway through it and my partner fell asleep, and I said, I'm going to turn this off so that you can finish this tomorrow, or whenever, a couple days, however long it was between me turning it off and putting it back on. So technically I think we only watched it like 40 minutes left of it on it, but it's still fucking powerful, man. It was a good film. So right after that, I was scrolling. I didn't really know what to put on because, once I already got my Dark City and Phenomena film out for the day, so I was telling myself, I don't need to pick anything crazy, but I had some time to watch some more stuff, and my partner wasn't going to bed yet, so I put on something we were both watching, and I remembered at the end of the summer, we started watching the Insidious films, and we never finished. Turns out there's a new Insidious coming out. I might as well catch up. Plus, I'm pretty sure I didn't see the most recent one either. I think the most recent one I saw was the last key. And I'm pretty sure there's something after that too. And then there's the new one on top of that. So I put on Insidious Chapter 3. Directed by Lee Winnell. Written by Lee Winnell. There's a James Wan cameo. He's the caster for the play that what's-her-name tries out for. He's the Asian-looking fella, Australian. I mean, I don't know why I'm going to try and describe James Wan. I feel like he has a very identifiable face. But I remember not liking this one. That's not true, actually. I remember going into it thinking, there's no way. Like, why are they doing a prequel for the third entry? That's always them scratching, like, for something. But it turns out it was probably the best move that they could have done because, as my friend Gia on here says, they killed off the best character in the first film, and they've just been scrambling to keep her alive in every sequel because they can't figure out how to make movies without her. That's, what's her name? Lynn Shay is the actress's name. She's amazing. She really carries the film. Like I said, it's a prequel. It's weird because the prequel you think is years in the past. But I'm pretty sure it's only like a few months or weeks before the first film happens. Because as far as I remember in the first one, it's been almost a year since I last watched it, but the first one she says that she just got back into doing it. So that, like, within the last few months. Anyway. Lynn Shay, it's a prequel. She had a traumatic experience with being a medium, and just like Hattori Hanzo, she took an oath to never perform her duty ever again. But then, like Hattori Hanzo, someone came along with a strong enough story that made her feel obligated to break her oath. And that is that girl has like the most tragic life. I don't even remember what happened. Oh yeah, her mom died, right? And then she got like hit by a car and broke both her legs or something like that. Yeah, this girl's mom dies. She tries to reach out on her own. She accidentally summons an entity who's doing bad stuff to her. Spoiler alert, it's a parasite. It's surprise. That's probably the least spoiler I've given all day. Because it's kind of a bullshit answer, you know? What was I talking about? Yeah, she tries to contact her mother with like a Ouija board or something. She accidentally summons a parasite. Oh, right. She calls it a parasite. Lynn Shay calls the ghost a parasite. And what it's doing is it's basically slowly beating this girl to death through trauma. She gets hit by a car. Most notably, there's a bunch of other shit that happens that I can't really remember, but she really just is really bad luck. And Lynn Shay is there to help her. And she can't. She gives up. So then they call, the father is that dude from Ant-Man, by the way, not Paul Rudd, the stepfather. And he calls up these geeks that the sister's brother watches on YouTube. They're ghost hunters. That's Lee Winnell and the other guy. Spoiler. I guess that's the cool thing about this film, is all spoilers lead to the first film, so it doesn't matter anyway. But that's the origin of her creating her, like, gang. So she can't do it alone. The ghost hunters on YouTube can't do it alone. But then they meet up with each other and realize that they can do it together. And they solve the case. And then it ends with, like, them walking down the road all, like, Skippy. And her basically saying that you're not allowed to wear ghost-themed shirts anymore. You have to wear a shirt and tie. And the movie ends there. It's surprisingly really a good sequel or prequel. I really liked it. I think I wasn't fully in on it until I saw the scene where the girl finally gets, like, fully possessed during, like, the big freak out moment. Oh yeah, she does have both her legs broken because, yeah, she stands up and shatters her casts. Oh my god, that was so fucked up. Yeah, she's just kicking her casts against a surface, shattering them to dust. And at first I'm like, okay, well, they've been in a cast for who knows how long, but it's probably better than it could be, you know? It's not like she's walking on freshly broken bones. But you still see the bruising. And I don't know if you've ever seen a broken bone, but surface bruising on a broken bone, it looks pretty fucked. It's very uncomfortable to look at. Great, I forgot what I was talking about. Love that. This is why I hate parking up front, because I see someone move and it distracts me. Now I can't fucking think until he walks past. He's not going to because he has to go back into work and doesn't want to, and yeah, keep fucking walking, buddy. Yeah, she shatters the casts, and she's possessed, so she's, like, blindly doing it. Everyone's like, oh my god, stop shattering your casts, that's crazy. And then she's standing there, and I'm seeing her broken legs, and I'm thinking, like, oh, this can't be that bad, right? But I'm pretty sure it's only been a couple of days since she broke her legs. Not just because of the sign of the bruising, but just thinking about, like, the timeline of the movie. It seems like maybe not a couple of days, but she did not even touch a month in that cast. There's no way about it. So now she's castless and sitting in they're not saying, she's standing up in front of these people, her legs are broken, and she starts walking towards them. And it's obviously just, like, added in sounds, but you can see her legs, like, moving. Like, you can tell that the bones are not in place. Those bones are crackling and jiggling, and they are disgusting in there. And the wrong step and that bitch's leg is collapsing in under itself, and it's so fucking gross. I loved it so much. It was great. Very uncomfortable. Very intense to watch. Which is cool, because I feel like I don't say that about films like this anymore. I'll watch, like, Miss 45 and be like, yeah, that was some pretty tame rape. Tamest rape I've ever seen. But Insidious 3, I'm like, yeah, those broken bones, they looked like they fucking hurt, and the cracking was icky. So yeah, Insidious 3, way better than it should be. Better than the sequel. I don't think it's better than the first one, but maybe I've just seen the first one so many times that I kind of just memorized it. I'm not too sure. But I mentioned that the film is directed by Lee Winnell, Insidious Chapter 3. This is, again, within the same day. I watched a double feature with Lee Winnell, so that's 2 double features in a day. Being Dark City Phenomena as Jennifer Connelly, and Insidious Chapter 3 and Upgrade for Lee Winnell. Lee Winnell wrote and starred in Saw, the first one, and then continued to help writing the Saw scripts for at least a few entries after that. I want to say he's still kind of partially involved. I'm pretty sure no matter what, James Wan and Lee Winnell can be as involved as they want to be. Plus, they're kind of just significant people in the horror space anyway, so there's no reason to say no to them at all. But Upgrade was crazy. It's the first time I've ever seen a straight up sci-fi from this guy. It's just like, yeah, the guy who wrote Saw and directed Insidious Chapter 3, directed and possibly also wrote a cyberpunk type horror sci-fi film. I don't really know. Who am I trying to click on right now? Why am I clicking on anybody? Lee Winnell directed. Yeah, I want to see who wrote it. Writer Lee Winnell. Yeah. This guy. You could tell. You can tell it's his kind of film. He takes like simple plot points and enhances them by making them just a widget more fucked up. So this guy, it's in the future. His wife works for like a big megacorp company, and she's developing like AI or something like that. And the main character is basically like anti-AI. He does not support tech. He's a robots are going to take our jobs kind of guy. That's the kind of thing he does. So then he meets up with a guy that invented like a super brain, and it's like, hey, this is a super brain, and he goes, no, that's dumb. Why would I pay you to be a robot? I don't like robots. Then his wife and him are out on a date or something. They're doing something or other. They're jib-jabbing, walking around. I really don't remember what they were doing, but they get robbed. Like, really weirdly. So the wife is like immediately killed, and then he is paralyzed from the neck down, and it just turns into a kind of a noir mystery story. But so he wakes up after his mini coma. He got shot in the back of the neck, and he's paralyzed. He wakes up, and spoiler alert, I don't know why I'm saying that here, it doesn't matter. He gets that brain, that computer brain put into his to fix his quadriplegicness, because he got severed from the neck down, so he's a quadriplegic. And they installed this brain chip into his brain to basically fix him and prove that it's possible. Turns out the computer starts talking to him. I really liked the twist at the end. The twist was pretty fun. It wasn't like jaw-dropping or the most surprising thing in the world, but it was a really entertaining ending that I think works really well with the kind of film this is. The cinematography was really cool. I think that's something I really want to make note about. Sorry if I sound weird. I'm staring at a spider. I'm getting ready to kill him. I think it's a jumping spider, though. I don't want to touch him. Where'd it go? Fucked. I am so fucked. ABC's a death letter E kind of fucked. Why didn't I wait for him to get closer? I hate you. I like the twist, though. I think the twist was really good. The cinematography was great, though. So every time... So, like I said, he's a quadriplegic, so he can't move. Except once he gets his brain put into him, he can. And also, the brain is an AI that's active and thinking. So it has its own autonomy if he lets it. So he'll be like, okay, I don't remember what the guy's name was. Not the guy, the robot in his head. STEM. Like brain stem, yeah. So STEM, he's like, yeah, STEM, go and beat this guy up. And then STEM will take over his body. And the camera kind of locks to the position of the guy's head. Is that really... yeah, I think it lines up with his head. Like, what is that? Like a stabilizing shot on his head? Except he's in a fighting scene, so his head's moving around and bobbing up and down and turning around and shit like that. So the camera does this really intense, like, shifting that I really like. And it really sells the, like, someone is controlling your body kind of feeling. That is just really cool. The violence is really intense. I really liked it. It was not Saw levels of torture, but there were some pretty good scenes. I love that he rolls up to a dive bar full of criminals in a wheelchair and goes, "Now I don't want to hurt none of you guys," and they all laugh at him. And it's the most like, you're gonna beat up a fucking wheelchair bound man? You're not gonna do that because you're dumb. It's a new, better brain. It's really cool. It's a really good film. I'm totally watching it again at some point. Leigh Whannell might just know how to make a good movie. I'm gonna try and watch everything he's directed, although I'm not necessarily hyped to watch, what is it, Bottoms or Hoosiers or something like that. But yeah, that's Leigh Whannell's upgrade. I do have more films. That's only I think that's only up to Tuesday. Jesus Christ. Yeah, I still have like the entire week that I haven't spoken about. So that's probably the next episode. We'll see. anythingbutted@gmail.com is where you can email me. Clearly I need suggestions for kinds of episodes, because as much as I kind of get into these, what I watched, I feel like I could be wasting conversation talking about a film. Like, I was thinking about talking about just Leigh Whannell today. But I don't really know how I do that, being that I've only watched, like, maybe a third of his directorial films. Oh, no. 80%. He's only directed 5. And the one that I haven't seen yet, he hasn't made yet. So that tracks. I have seen all of Leigh Whannell's directed films. Writing is probably another story. He wrote Cooties, right? That's the other film that's the film I don't necessarily want to watch, but I'm interested in. Yeah, Leigh Whannell, great writer. He apparently was in Matrix Reloaded. I'm going to have to keep an eye out for him. Yeah, anythingbutted@gmail.com. Episode ideas. Again, thank you to my brother, Vinny Carrozza, is probably where you could find him on anything. I'm probably going to link his YouTube, maybe just the song link, not his entire channel, I'm not sure. Either way, I'm really happy to have that song. I was hoping I could make some. I was thinking, since I had like a double feature the other day, that maybe I could just do an episode on those double features, which I kind of just did, but with a couple things in between to break it up. So anyway, my partner's coming. I appreciate you listening. You've been listening to Taste Like Tea, a podcast about me. I am tea, and tea is me. Goodbye.